Chapter: Notes of the Universe.
Anastasia spoke of you with warmth. She knew everything about people and events. She said,
The first, still small print run of the book Vladimir wrote came out in Moscow, and immediately there were ecstatic responses, poems, pictures and songs. The book preserves, thanks to the sincerity of its exposition, the combinations and symbols I searched for in the universe. It is these that give rise in people to unusual, beneficial, all-healing feelings.
At these words of Anastasia's, Boris began bustling about and suddenly sat down at the table by the tent. I saw that he had tried stealthily to turn on his voice recorder. In the pursuit of certain important information, he had probably stopped paying attention to those around him. He never did ask Anastasia to sit and thought only about how to get as much information out of her as quickly as he could. Agitated, the gray-haired scientist asked questions.
Scientists in various countries are using special expensive instruments to try to catch the unusual sounds of the universe. The sounds exist. Science knows this. Maybe not everyone yet, only some. Maybe 1/100000th. What instrument do you use to catch them, Anastasia? What instrument can produce the selection of sounds capable of purposely influencing the human psyche?
We have had that instrument for a long time. It is called the human soul. The soul's mood and purity accept or reject sounds.
Yes, that's fine. Yes, let's say that. You have been able to find and select out of billions the best sounds of the universe and then also their combinations, but a sound can only be reproduced with the help of an instrument, the specific musical instrument. What does the book have to do with this? It can't make sounds, after all.
No, it can't. It serves as sheet music. The reader involuntarily pronounces the sounds being read inside himself, so the combinations hidden in the text sound in the soul in their undistorted primordial form. They both bear the truth and healing and inspire the soul. A man-made instrument is incapable of producing what sounds in the soul.
How did Vladimir preserve all your signs without knowing anything about them himself?
I learned Vladimir's turns of speech, and I knew in advance that Vladimir would not distort events or the essence of what he had heard, and would even present himself as he was. But he did not convey all the combinations of signs. He needed to continue writing. After all, he had set forth only a little of what he knew and comprehended when he began writing. He needed to continue writing. Fame had already touched him. Unprecedented fame, and with a little more effort, he could organize the Association of Entrepreneurs. All of a sudden, Vladimir took a step unforeseen by my dream. He left his paid-for Moscow apartment to the Muscovites around him, left them the opportunity to accept readers' compliments, boarded a train, and left Moscow.
Why did he do that?
He kept wanting to find confirmation for what I'd said. Confirmation by science, validation of the existence of various things I had spoken about, to touch them. So he decided not to write anymore. He left for the Caucasus. Vladimir left Moscow in order to see with his own eyes, in the Caucasus Mountains, the dolmens, the ancient sites where living people had gone to die 10,000 years ago. I had told him about this. I also told him what important functional significance these dolmens have for people today. Vladimir went to a town called Gelendzhik. In the museums of Krasnodar, Novorossiysk, and Gelendzhik, he collected materials on dolmens. Then he met with various scientists, archaeologists, and local historians who worked on dolmens. He ended up with more information about dolmens than in any one museum. Naturally, I tried to help him imperceptibly. Through the mouths of people who came to see him, I instilled much new information in him so that he would have the chance to compare and to draw his own conclusions. But only he himself acted quickly and decisively. He compared all the information he had gathered with what I had told him. When the archaeologist showed him the dolmen closest to the road, he learned that there had been still more, but that they had been destroyed because the local residents had not understood their proper significance. The dolmens had been of little interest to them at all. Vladimir did what might have seemed incredible. In 3 months, he changed the local residents' attitude toward the dolmens. They began taking flowers to them. At the initiative of Gelendzhik's local women historians, a public association was created. It was called Anastasia, in my honor. This association opened a school for tour guides so that they could tell visitors about the dolmens, preserve the dolmens, and protect rather than destroy them. They also began preparing new tours and called them excursions into the intellect. In Gelendzhik, the tour guides began talking about the significance of the primary sources and the Creator's great creations, about nature.
Anastasia, do you think this is all thanks to him? You played no role here.
If I could have done so much without him, I would have done it before. I wanted very much to do this. In one of the remote dolmens in those mountains, the flesh of my foremother died.
But how? How could one person no one has ever heard of change people's attitude in such a short period of time, and be able to organize an effective association? You say that the scientific materials and various publications were known to the local residents, since they knew about them in the museums, but that didn't excite people.
Yes, that's true.
But why did they listen to him specifically? How did he succeed? People's beliefs can't be changed that quickly.
Vladimir did not know that. He did not know that consciousness cannot be changed quickly, which is why he acted and did change it. Go to that town and ask the various people who joined this association. Find out how and why success smiled on Vladimir. I rejoiced in what was happening in that town. The Anastasia Association, he agreed to this name when they asked him. I decided it was because of me. I thought he was starting to understand and love me. Truly he had understood a lot. But he had not come to love me. He had not, because I made many mistakes and sinned. Soon after I came to understand, to realize that my dream would come true, that people would be carried across the dark forces span of time and be happy. What I had dreamed of would come true, except for reciprocated love. This was retribution for the mistakes I made, my imperfection, and the insufficient purity of my intentions.
What happened? What made you decide this? Actually, everyone has long understood that he is crude and vulgar. Believe me, Anastasia, as someone older in years and as the father of a family, I tell you that your parents would not have approved such a union either.
Please, you must not speak like that about someone dear to me. Vladimir seems crude to some, but I know something different.
What else is there to know about him? Everyone knows what an entrepreneur can be, and he is a typical entrepreneur of our era. This is clear to everyone. Anastasia, your attitude toward Vladimir is biased.
Be that as it may, it is mine. Also, you're wrong about my parents' opinion.
End of chapter. Join us for the next segment of The Dimension of Love, Book 3 of the Ringing Cedars series, The Spirit of My Foremother.